From Bungoma, Gongwa, MONBASA, MVITA. This is Satya Galore. Satya Galore. Topic: OSOFIA in London, or in brackets, wisdom in London, in Landini. That was used to be the old name of London. This is about a movie that I once watched. Just the way people have Hollywood in the United States, Bollywood in India, and we have Nigerwood or Nigerian movies. They are some of the best producers of movies in the world, and they have got great actors. So there was this movie that interested me. It was a story about a man who went to London to study and was working in London, and he left a brother in Nigeria. The brother lived just a common Nigerian life, village life, and the other brother had everything that the developed countries go with. He was in London town, London city. And the brother who was in Nigeria, Africa, would go hunting for wild game and had few things in life. He didn't have a lot of things. So by then he was very close to the family, very close to his children and everything, until a message arrived in their village that he was needed in London. The brother had passed on and had left everything under his name. Why am I talking about these stories? I'm talking about things that happen all over the world. This time I'm not going just to stick to Africa. Our political game is always interesting. When new characters want to come into politics, they will humble themselves. Then they will see 1,000,001 mistakes in those that are in power. So, through this guy OSOFIA, when he was in Nigeria, before he could fly to London, he was seeing how he would be able to help everybody in the village, the affairs of everybody he knew in the village. He talked to them about change when he goes to London. There was a lot of preparation by people from the village, because even vehicles were not there. He had to get a pickup from some place. And something that was interesting was his talk to the family of what London is supposed to be. Because he did not understand much, he thought a tree is called nincompoop. Nincompoop in English means a fool. But to him, a tree was nincompoop. And whenever he went anywhere, he would tell everybody, "Good morning, sir. Good morning, madam." And he knew that the former Queen of England, Elizabeth, lived in London, the whole of London. So he was going to the city of Eliza. And there was a time he had a conversation with the wife. He talked to the two daughters. One wanted high heel shoes. She called them cock shoe. She wanted cock shoe when the father goes to London. But there was a sober girl thinking of the future. She said, I want Oibo books. To them, I understand Oibo means something European, something from the continent of Europe. Why was he asking these daughters this question? He wanted to see if there is money and when he'll be gone in London, how safe will they be in the village? And he was warning the wife, this girl who talks of cockshoe, beware about her, because anybody coming around to buy her things may make her expectant. So take care of that girl. But he looked at the other girl who had asked for Oibo books. And he said, yes, I wish you had also asked what your sister had asked. Oibo books. European books. Why was he so particular, though he was from the village? He knew that knowledge changes things. Knowledge can make you acquire things that you've never imagined. But acquisition is only limited to the things that you get. You cannot go beyond that. So that was how it began, and that's how it begins worldwide in all world campaigns, from the Americas to Africa to Asia to Europe. They are always talking of great things, promising heaven. They are very humble. Just like this man was. A day came when he got into a plane and he was flying to the place of his dreams, London. And on entering London, he realized the brother was very rich. But also, there was another Nigerian in London who had lived in London, who wanted to cheat out of him the property that the brother had left for him to inherit. And there was a lady in London who was married to the brother before he died. This is an English lady, European lady. And she also wanted to cheat the money out of the estate of this man. So this man came, and because of his intelligence, though he was not that much learned, whenever they would tell him you should sign a piece of paper, he would insist and say no. He wanted them to get all the money in the bank because he thought the brother had all the money in London in the bank. The brother was the richest man in London. So he wanted to get all the money from London from the bank to be put on a vehicle so that he can carry it to Nigeria. So the man who had the signature was a secretary, I think, an accountant in the company of the brother, told this lady, befriend this man and make him sign. And then I'll give you your cut, I'll get my cut. But when she took that form after the man had signed, he wanted to take everything. So she took the agreement that they had and told the man, now we have to fly to Africa, because he knew this man had tax connection in London. And they flew back to Nigeria. And the drama begins there. That's also what happens when politicians around the world have now talked to their people. They have been voted in. When he came, it was stories that were hyped. He did not now tell people he had only been to London, but he had been to the Buckingham Palace. He had talked to Queen Eliza. He would talk many things, like he was a great dignitary when he'd gone to London. Reality is, apart from his brother's house and a tour in the London bus, he'd not ventured into many places. So what happens with the politicians when they come in? First, they find empty coffers. And those who always leave, make sure they do that. They clean everything and go. And they start from zero. When they are starting from zero, they tell you, we're going to bring you heaven. Give us time. Within a year, 2 months, something like that, you're going to see the changes. And once that time comes, this is where the drama of OSOFIA comes in. They tell you of things they have done, which you cannot see. And you insist they have done A, they have done B, they have done C, they have done D. And you are left bewildered. What is happening? And you try to talk back and they tell you, no, I've only done that. And I'm going to add E and F and G. And that becomes the drama, the comedy, just like OSOFIA in London. The wife expected the husband to come with the property, the money that he'd gotten from London. And now he finds a white woman has also come. Competition. When we are voting in people in most countries across the continent, you put in one person. When they start ruling, you find 4, 5, 6 other people are ruling beside them. And when you try to ask, what's happening? They tell you, you don't know. That is how things are organized. So OSOFIA, when he came now, everybody in the village, even those who are not his friends, will assemble. And he will tell them about Queen Eliza and the bridge that would move in London, and how he was a big man. He would go and sit in Buckingham Palace with Queen Eliza. And the wife, because the other lady, the white lady who had come, she was after the money. So he would keep agreeing to everything that he said. Buckingham Palace, yes, he had been there. Everything. And all that time he would sing, he saw London bridges. Was it going down or something like that? When it was moving apart, the bridge on River Thames that moves aside and the ships pass and then it comes back again. So what happens? When people have reached there, people now sing your fame. Those who are close. And they hide the reality that is happening down there. So you tell your stories, and they also exaggerate the stories. But the reality on the ground is people that time are dissatisfied. That is the phase they pass in. Then now comes the third phase, the last phase. People are getting dissatisfied. Just like in OSOFIA in London now, the African wife is angry. She's trying to gang the children against the white woman. And one of the children, because She loves knowledge. Gets closer to the white lady. And the other one is militant, the cocksure one. They want the white woman out. So what happens when we come, or when those countries all over come towards election time? Now they are almost finishing. You find dissidents from amongst the people who are eating, ready to confront them in the elections. And that time, everybody is telling their lie. I started with a seedling, it's now a mature tree. It's now bearing fruits. You look at the tree and the seedling, you can't see the seedling, you can't see, but you're told, there are many other seedlings. When somebody talks anything against that, you're told, these are the ones who do not appreciate anything. And the term ends with disappointment. Sometimes they come in, sometimes they are thrown out. But just like OSOFIA forgot, the white lady wanted to poison him, and he was saying just because of the money, he would have taken the money. She was given the money and she left. And what happens is, when people are going down the drain, they realize these people I was with were not my friends. But if they are taken in another term, the whole drama begins again. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this so that we learn from the satire of OSOFIA in London to get Sophia wisdom to teach us that when you are in power, it is the people who put you in power. Work for them. Do not bring other rulers to be with you. Rule as the person, because if they wanted others, they would not have taken you. But if they have taken you, you are their choice. Let them see your leadership, not the leadership of others. That is the lesson that I would want leaders who take over, because there are many, even the big countries, they have been having people, you find somebody's there almost 2 years, they resign. Because they went there, gave people a lot of expectations. When they get there, they cannot manage. They try to look for other leaders who are not chosen by the people, who don't have the ideas that they had given sold to the people, so they end up getting out. So it's always prudent that when you are put there by the people, serve them, because you are not their boss, you are their servant. And provide visible, tangible explanations. Some leaders have visible, tangible explanations. Others, they'll tell you things that you imagine, but they are not visible. So this goes to leaders across the world. Be a prudent leader. Learn from OSOFIA in London. Learn from the wisdom in Landini. Serve the people. They will appreciate you. They'll never forget you. And you'll have peace even when you have left the service. Because people will always talk good about you, will wish you well in your life. That is my take on wisdom in Landini, Sophia in London, or Sophia in London. That's my take for now.